Hello, welcome back. This is Grillenheimer. This should go pretty quick. Again, these are back into the realm of card gaming of the Transformers, the TCG, adding stuff with Beast War flair. And so what we have here, a little more than a handful of cards from all sorts of waves, and just having fun with it and doing this in a true Wizards fashion. There might be just a few little new cards here, but for the most part, these you're going to see a lot of similarities. They're not exactly the same, but they're very, very close. Having fun with the nomenclature here. Nomenclature's for the birds. That's an old, oh my gosh, that goes back to when I was in high school. I used to make fun of what things that are called and with all the political mess going on right now and trying to stifle communication and the way things are worded and things you can say and can't say. Anyway, it just really makes even more sense and has even more weight than my little quote, nomenclatures for the birds, that I came up with 30 years ago. Anyway, let's get back to the Transformer TCG. But I just love saying that. And I've put that in a few comments before. But let's start off with Inundated Power. Inundated Power is I added the beast trait here. I didn't do that too often, but it's a blue pip, upgrade weapon, +1 for attack. When you put this on a leader character, you may move 1 damage from the upgraded character to each enemy on the battlefield. Originally I had it worded in a way that didn't make sense, and I realized, oh, this is how you do it. I think I'm finally getting a hold of how to word some of this stuff correctly. It's taken Matt and a few other people to go, dude, you're doing it wrong. So I think I'm finally getting a hold of a few things. So when you put this on a leader, character, you may move 1 damage from the upgraded character to each enemy on the battlefield. And it's a picture of Megatron on his throne floating chair inside the Jiffy Pop Megatron alien thing, which was really good episode. And I thought that was a good way, because not only you're repairing your leader. One, it has to be on a leader. So it's like armed hovercraft. And I followed this from armed hovercraft from wave 1. So you're hitting each enemy on the field by 1, basically. But you're moving it off your character and repairing it out at the same time. But it also, we're utilizing the leader trait. It has to be on a leader. So that is Inundated Power. Let's move on to something from wave 2. Range Restore. Good. Okay. Oh, and Inundated Power is a Predacon card. You're going to see that I'm using factions heavily. Every card has got a faction on it. Which I feel is very key also for other cards that we've made in the past to work with this, to where you're really, the battle of the cards, really, because I feel like not only should we be battling each other and trying to win the game by taking out each other's character cards, that's why I did the battlefield cards, is you're kind of fighting for position of place to upgrade stats that might even upgrade your enemies, etc. Having that going back and forth, and then a few other cards like one quick one-on-one draw, which also again puts you in a position of battling out for just 1 damage. It might backfire on you. It might not. So anyway, range restore is basically field repair. It's got the 1 orange pip, no trait, repair 1 damage from one of your characters if it's a maximal plan 1. And I got the plan 1 reminder verbiage there. So range restore is basically field repair. So let's go on to a wave 3 card. Let's look at... I've gone from scrap hurl to scrap it to scrap to just slag. And it's a perfect picture of Rampage when he first shot his first appearance, which was just so terrifying and so dark. It's just so cool. I thought this just seemed very appropriate for Beast Wars, replacing the card Frag Toss from Wave 3. So your opponent chooses one of their characters, so it's an action card with the white pip. Your opponent chooses one of their characters and does 1 damage to it. If your starting team was only Predacons, your opponent does 1 more damage to the chosen character. So it's like you're scaring them slagless, you know. That's why originally I was going to put scrap or scrap it, but I'm thinking, well, so slag, you know. This just seems very, very appropriate here. So this is our slag card. You're welcome. So there's that, which is basically Frag Toss, and making it cooler. Let's move on to, let's stay in Wave 3, and let's look at Emergency Examination, which is basically diagnosis, which is, this is a maximal card. Of course, slag was a Predacon card. Emergency Examination is basically diagnosis. Maximal card now with a white pip. Repair 1 damage from one of your characters if your starting team was only maximals, because we've got new factions. Draw a card. So can you have diagnosis, 3 diagnosis and 3 emergency examinations? Yes, you can. But you're going to need Autobots to trigger a whole Autobot team just to trigger field diagnosis, and you're going to have all maximals just to be able to trigger the extra trigger and emergency examination. So if you're using them both, you're having a mixed team, you're only going to do the repair 1. You're not going to be able to do the other part. So if you are trying to play with like a team of 50 or 100, is he trying to do 50 characters, or just a 50 or 100 card in his battle deck? I can't remember which. It sounds really cool. It sounds like a very long game. But there's emergency examination. So basically diagnosis from Wave 3. I got a couple of other stuff in the works that I haven't gotten to, but this has just been so fun. I've been kind of busy, so I didn't get to it until last night. Let's look at, what did I finally, yes, predictable pawns. And I've had this picture since about last summer, and I didn't know what to do with it. And it's in season 2. What some of the best parts of the entire series. Megatron is in his ship, watching everything happen as Inferno, Black Arachne, and Tarantulas have infiltrated the Axelon, and Inferno comes in too, and he can see them all in there. And he goes, "Oh yes, my pawn," or whatever he called Inferno. So predictable pawns, but you will notice it's an uncommon. It's a Predacon card with 1 white pip. It's an upgrade weapon. Yes, it's supposed to be an upgrade weapon. When the upgraded character attacks, reveal the top of the top card of your deck. If it's an action, you may play it. Anticipation Engine. That's all this is. And I was originally looking for another sort of engine type term like motor. I had predictable pistons, or prophetic something or other, or expectant motor or something silly. And I'm like, I don't like that. And then I saw this picture and I'm thinking, well, this works. And then I went with the alliteration, predictable pawns. Well, not quite alliteration, but pretty close. Because he can see all the characters on there. And I'm thinking, well, this is perfect. And so it's basically Anticipation Engine. And it's a Predacon faction card this time. But anybody can use it. It's a weapon upgrade anyone can use, really. And maybe I should have given an extra perk or trigger for the Predacons, but I didn't. It's basically the same thing. So can you have 6 of them if you so choose to? But you might want to make more than a 40 card deck, and you might have some. If you're going to have 6 of these, 3 predictable pawns and 3 anticipation engines, you're going to need some actions too, because you already got filled up 6 upgrade slots, with only weapons. So things to think about. Let's look at. Did I not make that? Oh yeah, there it is. Going to wave 4. We're looking at a secret action called Ricochet. That is rare. It is a maximal card with 1 blue pip. Reveal when one of your maximals defends. Oh, I misspelled that. I was like wondering why the little maximal symbol didn't show up, but I see why. When revealed, do damage to the attacker equal to the number of upgrades on that attacker. It's backfire. So this is Ricochet, which was a Decepticon card, if I remember, or was that an Autobot? Because a few of these, I'm kind of switching the faction from the good guys to the bad guys, or vice versa. So and I had this picture also and didn't know what to do with it. So I had all these screenshots on my phone and putting it and piecing this all together, and it's just coming together so well. Just so well. So it's the rare, it's a secret action, it's backfire, but it's called Ricochet instead. So that's wave 4. Let's look at dual design. Doing pretty well on time here. Dual design, and you're going to see lots of little pictures here. Well, with the Beast War characters I've created, what does Transmetal 2 Dinobot, Depth Charge, and Optimal Optimus all have in common? I made them all dual factions. They all have more than one faction. Optimal Optimus is an Autobot and a Maximal. Transmetal 2 Megatron is a Decepticon and a Predacon, etc. Transmetal 2 Dinobot is a Predacon and a Maximal. Depth Charge, he's a Maximal and a Mercenary. So I erroneously had him as the Autobot color on there for a while too, but I got that corrected. So dual design, put on hybrid factions only. An upgrade weapon with 1 blue pip. I made it a Predacon card. But what was this originally? The upgraded character has +1 attack for each of your other tapped hybrid faction characters. Now, one thing to note, some of these guys have a little bit of star counts to them. So you may not have a very wide set of characters in the field to pull this off. I mean, you can still pull it off, but you may not get a whole lot of attack. so to speak. So there's that. It's basically aerial bot formation, but utilizing characters with two factions. How's that? So you got that going for you. Of course, you got hybrid factions on your team. Of course, you're not going to be able to pull off field repair or diagnosis or anything like that. So, I just have a minute or two. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta. Let's go over maybe 2 more cards. And I got to call it quits, guys. I got to log in for work here. Gosh, there's just so much here, and it just seems so fun. I just want to play these cards now. I just want to print them out and really use them. Let's look at. Let's go to wave 2. Now we're getting into silly. The antics of Beast Wars that some people didn't like, some people loved. It depends on, we have so many different fans. Let's look at Beastial Flourish. That's a picture of Megatron with his judge wig on. How funny was that? It's an upgrade utility blank pip. Put on transmetal beasts only. So this is very specific. Not just beasts, but your transmetal beasts. Can it be Transmetal 2 Grillenheimer? Yeah, it still has transmetal in the name. Go ahead. Enemies cannot use bold or tough against the upgraded character. And it is of course is a rare card. And you're thinking, boy, that sounds familiar. Yeah, it should. It's Stunnicon Swagger from Wave 2, which was really just for only 5 characters could use. This, a little more than 5 characters can use, but still it's a very small amount of characters that can equip Beastial Flourish. So that's sort of the point there. Let's end on a funny note. Let's go to a Wave 1 card. I've had that ever since I screenshotted this. I've thought about this. Unfortunately, it's not just going to be on like primes or anything like that, but it's bananas. It's an upgrade utility, blue pip card. It's a rare card. It's also got the maximal faction on here. Put on beasts only. So, well, can I use this on Mind Wipe or Wolfwire or whatever in their? Yeah, go ahead. The upgraded character has +1 attack for each bananas on it. Up to 3 bananas can fit in its utility slot. It's cargo trailer. So I thought this was the best way to try to get a cargo trailer into the Beast Wars side of the card game here, to be able to give Primal or any of the other Beast character traits, and that's a lot of them. So this should be a super rare, because again, you can have 3 in your deck. You can put 3 in 1 utility slot, and it gives them 3 to attack. Of course, they have to be in their Beast trait, and I've made a lot of these characters with Beast traits in a few of their bot modes, but not many. But a lot of their alt 2 modes for the ones that are transmetal, that have that are triple changers. Yeah, really opening the envelope, more characters, similar cards, new factions, really bringing some fun here to Beast War characters, whether you're trying to use mine or even your own, someone else's, Bayformers, Road Formers, the Ark, whoever. This is hilarious. And will it work? Of course it'll work. Can I have cargo trailer with it too? Yeah, go ahead. But you're going to have a truck to be able to put used cargo trailer and bananas to be able to put it on your beast. So you want to have an Optimal Optimus and an Optimus Prime at the same time, and maybe have only those two for your characters in Battlefield? Yeah, go ahead. You want to use my 14-star Optimal Optimus and another like a 12, 14 star Optimus Prime from the actual game? Go ahead, have cargo trailer and bananas in the same deck. That sounds hilarious. So go for it. Mix things up. This is as close to legit as I can get without just actual copying actual cards, which I kind of am, but I'm kind of not, because these are not Autobots and Decepticons. These are Maximals and Predacons. And I'm not finished yet, but we've got to stop here. This is going to be end of part 1. We'll see you next time. I'm having fun with this. I can't wait to play with some of these cards. Have a great day. Have a blessed day. I've got to log in for work. We'll see you next time. And as always, Maximals, flip out and let's eat our bananas. Banana for you.